Success of the specs.
Oh,
What's this
okay.
guy doing?
All right.
He didn't fill the form or what?
Well, he has his own form here, but he put,
Oh, thanks.
he's got his own form here.
Yeah, he said if you want me to quote to the specs, I won't quote them.
Okay, this is the gutter.
Yeah, see, our spec called for 5 inch. He's wanting 6 inch
Okay.
because he says this 5 inch will overflow.
So this is
I
the
will
heat
need a
cable,
copy. I will need the name.
Yeah.
open seamless gutter,
Because you
or,
have to publish
so
that.
the open seamless gutter.
Yeah, you'll get all
That's
sorts
what we
back.
bid for.
Yeah,
Well,
I
this
think
is
she
a
just
simple
wanted-
gutter
we
right
wanted to
there.
open them
So
first
he's
to
right
see
in the
who's got gutters
ballpark.
and who's got everything.
I'll put the other ones with an open gutter, and then that's the hooded option, and then that's hooded in heat. You know, because the heat's you heat the hood and you heat the gutter.
Yeah, you want to do one or the other, right?
No, you do both.
Oh, you do both?
When you put a hooded one, you heat the hood and the gutter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that's all he did. Here's his certificate of insurance. Okay.
Yeah, so he's quoting even a bigger gutter
I
than
got
they
it.
are.
Yep. Yep.
It's not apples to apples.
Well, but he said that the gutter that they're doing will be sufficient.
Well, there was other people that looked at it and said it would be.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Well, we can still look at it. There's no problem looking. Okay, can we do a comparison?
yeah, we should look at I got to look at all of them side by side.
Can you pass that back to Kathy? She'll do a comparison.
Well, everybody's going to have to.
Yeah, but you can do it and then give it to us. How's that? And then let's go to Boy Scout. Let's do a couple of other topics, then we'll run back to this. Will you do it? Are you okay with that?
What are we doing with Boy Scout? Do I have to?
Well,
Yeah. It'll just be a talk.
yeah, I got a call from a gal down in Lansing, Girl Scout leader, wanted to stay in the Boy Scout Park.
Awesome.
And I sent her all the information and so forth, and then they didn't come. I raced down to the post office and got it all ready, and she didn't call me back. But it was very cold when they wanted to come. But they were on a bicycle trip, and I said, well, we've got other parks in the area. She says, oh, no, they're not primitive enough. She liked the primitive aspect of using Boy Scout Park.
Where would we have campers if we, because
Probably in front of the pavilion.
In front of the pavilion?
Mm-hmm. On the east side there. That would, the Quonset could break the wind more or less. I would think if the wind's coming out of the west. Of course, the wind comes out of the northeast sometimes up there.
Yeah.
You get a northeaster, you'd be cold.
How does everybody feel about...
The cement slabs are still there, right?
Yeah, they could use those.
Well, that's where we used to camp.
Is it?
Yeah.
They're not cleaned off, though, right now, are they? Last time I was over there, they weren't cleaned off. That would be something I would think we need to do.
Should we have Hobie do that?
Yeah, I would clean them up. But we're listed, Steve Snell contacted me about this woman, and so we're listed as a camping site. And as
Is
long
there
as
any
they
other
provide and I told her
liability?
she'd have to have liability insurance and signed waivers, which I sent her, hold harmless, which are from our insurance company. So that we're covered.
So everybody's okay with having people camp there? Or do you want to just keep it to scouts?
I think we ought to keep it to scouts. I mean,
Can you do that? Can you just?
I don't know how we do it because it is a public park.
Well, because there's something we could ask Tim, because I think
Yeah.
if we're going to open it to public camping, if we're going to open it to one, we got to open it to everybody. If we
I think
open
so
that,
too.
If we do, then I think we've got to take some time to walk through the process, because now you got fires.
An individual family unit isn't going to go through the effort of doing hold harmless causes and
No,
things
they're
like
just going
that.
to show up.
Right, and if we hold to the fact that we want these waivers, we want these hold harmless statements, we want, indemnity insurance of some sort, I think it'll be self-regulated to the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, maybe a 4-H group or something like that.
Who's going to regulate it?
Well, you're going to have signage, number one, and then yeah, that's the problem. Who's going to regulate it? The scouts are going to call. And like she said, should I leave the money in a box on the way out the door?
Yeah.
So we don't have a box.
Well, I wonder, you start doing that,
Well, that's fine.
and people that are paying at state parks and down at the Pigeon River Camp, they might start camping there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then you've got fire issues,
Right.
and
You've
you've
got
got
a
to
lot
build
going
a,
on.
you got to build fire pits. Me, with Girl Scouts, you'd probably have to build a fire pit.
I figure then we should contact him and somehow figure out how to make an exception to allow scouts to use it and not to open it to the general public.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, I agree that that's probably
And they would
where
have to
we
have,
should be.
and
with
know
that
that they have
Right.
supervision there,
Yes.
chaperones, or
Yeah.
whatever they call them. Things
Yeah,
like that.
leaders.
leaders,
Scout leaders.
scout leaders.
That's what they are.
Okay. You
Yeah,
gonna do that?
I think that's where we need to go.
You okay with that, John?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that.
The people that want to use it for camping are using it for camping, and regardless of what we say here at tonight's meeting.
Are there people camping there?
When I went down there to mow in the past, when I was doing mowing, they pull out in front of the pavilion, between the pavilion and the lake, and they have a terrific lake view.
Oh, yeah.
They tear down the no camping sign and they camp. And when I come in and mow, they realize that I might be somebody that knows someone, and within an hour the camper's gone and the no camping sign is back up.
Mhm.
And they didn't hurt nothing.
It's not
But
that.
that's what
It's
they're
we're
doing.
liable
The
for
ones
it.
that are doing it anyways.
Yeah, but then
So-
we're liable.
Exactly. And we
So-
had a sign to say
No camping, yeah.
But they just take it down. They
I don't
put it
think.
up when they leave.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes it right,
It
or
don't.
or that we should condone it. You know.
But there's lots of land there, and if they want to camp, rustic camping, that's what we talked about for the future of that place.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
legally.
talked
let's
with
do-
Paul Rapaski. In fact, his landscaping person wanted to, the west part where it's a little wooded and everything, he said you could make camping spots in there in the winter even for people that are snowing or bailing through that got a tent with them. Winter camping would be ideal there.
Well,
They
let's,
just think it's
before
wonderful.
before we think it's okay for anybody to camp there, I think we need to do exactly what Dennis
So
said.
we're looking for a document that's only Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or Brownies or whatever else they call
Well, something
them.
that we could control. And I think if people are going to camp there, then, some way, we have to have the no camping signs. So people understand their risk. I mean, they'll be liable. And the other thing I think we have to do is we have to find out from somebody what kind of fires they can have, because I don't think we want fires just being built any old place. So I think we need to have a fire pit.
There's a lot
mean-
of stipulations that would have to come into play.
Yeah.
Because it is a public
We should have a
park.
fire pit out there anyway.
Well, I know we should, but we shouldn't just let people willy-nilly, decide to camp
Correct.
there and put in their own fire
We do.
pits.
We've got a fireplace in the Quonset building that is used,
Yeah,
and we put a fire ring on a cement slab that is used.
it's not there now.
Yes,
Yeah.
The fire ring?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People go out there and picnic.
Yep. And we got some grills
I know
there.
we got the grills there. I guess I just don't remember seeing the fire ring.
Yep.
Well, let's talk to Tim. I really would rather have somebody with some knowledge about parks, and Tim may not be the one, tell us what's our liability. I think we need not do this just with, because people are doing it. I don't think that makes sense.
But if $400 buys the liability policy for us, maybe we should open it up.
Well, that's why I want to talk to Tim. I think we need to figure out what did it.
Tim won't have that number, the
Well,
insurance will.
we are insured already over there.
So,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, all of our properties are insured.
Yeah,
A
I would,
lot of
I would
money.
like to have an opinion. The only reason we're even talking about this is because how big that property is. I mean, it's not something we want to do down here, I don't think.
Oh, God, no.
Well, I'm just saying,
No.
let's just kind of think
No,
this through a
no,
little bit.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure we can limit it, though.
Then let's just see if we can or not.
Yeah.
I'd really like a legal opinion on this one before we move, because everybody's doing it. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask Kobe to clean up the slabs,
Okay.
because that would be, seems to me, if we're going to have parking spots, that would be a good place.
Well, they're best for the fire range.
Well, that's what I'm saying, they'd be right next to the slab. Okay. John, do you have anything?
We need a motion to set the special assessment rate for the next year, which is, we've all already decided it's going to be 0. But I need something in the minutes. If the tax tribunal looks at us, they're going to say, how did you come about that? So it's got to be done by the board.
Somebody make a motion.
I'll make the motion that it is 0.00
Is there
for the winter.
all in favor of the motion? Is there any discussion?
2015?
Any discussion?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor?
Who's seconding?
I do.
John,
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, what's the past resolution setting up special assessment district for
Well,
lighting?
that's what Tim advised us 2 meetings ago to go ahead with and get it over with, was to go ahead with the special assessment district and send out the second letter for the second hearing. And I know it gets long and drug out, but if we wait another fiscal year, we're going to spend another $2,500 on mailings, attorneys, and to set this whole thing in motion all over again. We now have it in motion, and then we don't have to really switch over to the new district until we're out of money. The money we have can still be used to pay for wattage only.
Well, could we pass a resolution and set up a special assessment district for lighting when we run out of money? And that could be the motion?
Let me see how it looks.
Because I think doing anything like other than that, I probably wouldn't support.
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't. I'll ask him why we couldn't do that.
He called
Repeat
for
what you
more
said.
public hearings, he said.
That's what I remember.
Yeah,
If we wait, we got to start over with the public hearing
Right.
process.
But we are setting, I'm
you
saying you're passing a resolution to set up a special lighting, a special district for lighting. When we, at what time we run out of money to fund the current special assessment district.
Based on that previous map that was made.
The current district, the people that are not paying taxes are only the people that are in the current district. So when we
We're
run out.
expanding it.
No. When we're not expanding it now.
No, but we will once this goes.
I know, but they will not get a tax break
Oh, no.
because they were never paying any taxes in the
No.
lighting district.
No, that's where the confusion, I think, comes in. They aren't going to pay either. And neither the old district and the new district are neither one going to pay anything until we run out of money. This is a paper situation that will sit until we are out of money. This will just
I don't
sit
think
in
you're right.
limbo until we're out of money. And then once I see that we're going to be out of money, or Kathy sees we're going to be out of money, then we come to a meeting and we say,
Set the
okay,
rate.
now the new district is going to go into force. And then we have to decide at that point, based on the number of parcels we have in the new district, what the rate would be. And the board would set that rate at that time. So now if we leave this sit for 3 years, we have to start with a public hearing.
No, I got all that.
A meeting, a public meeting like we just had. Then another mailing. This has to go back to the attorney to be rewritten. And you got all the attorney's fees, all the mailing fees, the public hearing fees. I mean, it just snowballs.
Yeah, I got it.
And we've already got $2,500 in this. So my thing is, I think, and that's just my opinion, we need to go forward with it, have it sitting there when we need it. And then we're all set
What's
to
the
go.
deadline that we have to go forward?
Well,
I might have missed what you said.
Yeah, we just get the resolution going, and the next letter to the public goes out. The 1,200 new people go out. then they have a chance to come and say, like this gentleman here, he has a chance to come and we can decide, okay, right then and there, okay, you're not going to be in the new district.
His letter should be on file, shouldn't it, with us?
It is.
Yeah, it is, but we couldn't decide because we
Because we
haven't
didn't
set
have
it
a
up.
new district.
So,
But
it's
we're
up to the
going off
board.
of the proposed, when he wrote that letter, it was off the proposed new light district.
Yeah, but there'll be a new, he will write a new letter for the second hearing, once this is done.
But the same proposed light district?
No, it'll be the proposed light district, yes, which is the 1,200 instead of the 900, which we've already decided we were going to do.
But what's our deadline on when we can do this?
Which is what we've already decided we were going to do, half a mile each side of 27.
Right. That's not what I'm asking. What is our
She's asking-
timeline on this resolution?
Well, we need to do it this fiscal year, so we're not dragging it on and on and on into the next fiscal year. I think as long as we stay within this fiscal year, we'll be all right. But if we start all over again next April,
We start all over
then we
again.
start all over again,
I got it there.
which I think is,
I don't know. I'd
and
have
it's
to think
just
on that
it's
because
just a paper thing, really.
well,
What's
it
your
is and it
thinking?
isn't. You know, I don't want to bring.
But you give people a chance ahead of time to come in and say, okay, I'm in the new district, I just got a letter.
But
And
we
then
can't even
can
tell them
take a
what the
real-
rate is. I mean, we can't even tell them any.
It's going to be 0 for now.
If we
The
don't know what
proposed
the
shouldn't be
tax will
nothing.
we
I mean,
cannot
they
know
shouldn't even
that.
be in on that.
If they're not.
No.
That's where the confusion lies.
Yeah,
If
but
they're
no, but
not-
there's,
Right,
it's very
if they're
subtle.
not in, they're not going to be paying until this new district is
And
initiated.
they're not gonna have 0 on their tax bill
It won't even
either.
show.
It won't show.
No.
It's just a
Not
proposed.
until we initiate and set up.
But people that
The
are
new one.
currently in the new district will have 0 on their tax bill.
Right.
So
Right.
it's very different.
Right.
I think
The
that's
current one has to show
They-
that
it
they're
won't
being
even
charged 0 because we're using up the surplus.
Right.
Yeah.
But the new district shouldn't even show those people on there that they are in the light
It won't.
district.
It won't until it goes to equalization, and it will not go to equalization until we say so.
Okay. You're saying, okay, so for
Until it comes to us.
2016 winter, not 15, because we already know
Right.
it's going to be 0, and we're
Right.
not.
And then
The
come
winter
next
tax.
July, we'll
But
get
the
together.
2015 winter tax, they will not show the new names of people in the
No.
light district.
No,
they
not
can't.
until this whole thing is initiated. It's a paper thing that will be ready to go. And probably, I'm guessing 17 before it would even show up on the bills.
So we're
But
just
every
trying
July.
We're trying to
and
save
the reason,
I know. I just want to make
Basically,
sure.
Trying to do. Yeah, I hear you.
yeah. you-
There's some things that are not
What
always
has
what they
happened
seem.
historically, what happened, okay, with the light district was, Bill wrote down what the rate should be, and that's what it was. Nobody ever knew. Now it's come out, I'm not kidding. I signed it because he supposedly knew, and then I started looking into it. And this is a board decision, not a supervisor decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I started
Well, I
looking
already-
into it and got with the attorney and
And
said,
I
what do
talked
we have to
Clayton.
do to clean it up?
He knows it's going to be 0 for 2015
Oh, yeah.
too. I know you got to fill out the form though.
Yeah.
And you have to have some.
Yeah, and you need to.
But we already
in order
did that
to
with
be-
this other one.
I just feel more comfortable having the board set it, even though it is 0.
Is-
And it might be for another 2 or 3 years.
Is this something that I mean, do I get a copy of this to read?
Yeah, you have a copy of
I
this.
do have?
We
Yeah,
got this at
everybody's
the
got a
last
copy of
meeting.
it.
It's the same thing
Yeah.
that we have.
Yep, yep, it's the same thing.
Does anybody want to make a motion to, that we pass the resolution setting up a special assessment district for lighting so that we can move on this fiscal year and not pay $2,500? Because that's what I hear is the issue.
Yeah, I
Not
know.
redo everything we've done. So the bottom line is, this is the vote on the new lighting district or not the new lighting district, basically. I mean, that's basically what we're doing
Yeah,
here.
that's basically, we're setting it up so it's all ready to go, and what'll happen is there'll be all the people that will come into the new district will get a letter. They'll have a chance to come to a meeting and say, look, I'm got 5 feet in the district, should I be paying?
Well, and I'm wondering if,
And then we can't even tell them what they're going to be paying.
no, I'm wondering,
No, but you will basically know based on the taxable value.
is that though in 2017 or 2016? When
Yeah.
would they get this letter? When would
Right
After
now.
we sign that,
As soon as we sign
it's
this.
going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, that's why
Why
you're a
can't-
public official.
Why can't we send it, why can't we wait and send the letter to them once we get close to the period of time? Even though, because this
Because
resolution,
if you wait 2 or 3 years, you're going to start over.
if we've already passed the resolution, we're
No,
not.
no, as soon as we pass the resolution, Tim will tell Clayton to send the letters. And he'll print them and they will go out. And we'll have to deal with it.
And
It's
when
part of
people
being-
come to the board and ask what their rate is, we can't tell them.
You can pretty much tell them based on what the new light bill is going to be.
We don't know. We
It's
haven't
gonna
even
I
ran it.
got the new light bill today. It's
You have to set the roll.
it's 900.
You have to do a lot of things. Their
It's
assessments
going to
could
run
change.
about $12,000 a year. So if you take that and divide it into the taxable value, and Clayton can tell us exactly what the rate will be.
He can tell us based on today. There's, a lot will happen in 2 years. I mean, who knows what the values of the property
Well,
will
then
be.
we start over.
Um,
That's
Well, let me just-
basically the crux of
I
it.
know.
We either
Let me just
start
ask,
over or we do
does
it now.
anybody want to make a motion to pass a resolution?
I will.
Okay, is there going to be anybody that wants to second it?
I just
I
need
don't-
to see those letters going out.
I was
and-
actually in favor of doing it, but with the vagaries of what the taxable assessed values are going to be, right now I'm thinking we're just going to be better off waiting.
You want to wait till we run out of money
Yeah,
and start over? Okay. We just-
I know it's going to cost another $2,500,
we
but
just
that's where I'm
wasted
at.
Taxpayer money.
I
That's
feel,
too bad.
I feel like we haven't wasted the taxpayers' money. I feel like what we did is we saved a lot of, we saved taxpayers a lot of money for the next 2 to 3 years because we overcharged them basically, so they're getting it back. And I think that this will confuse the taxpayers that are in the
Well,
new
based
district.
on the old rates, we really didn't overcharge them because the bills were quite high in the past. And
But we didn't, how did we get
basically came-
$58,000 in our
We got a
fund?
rebate too.
Yeah, but I
But
got-
the thing was,
I
at
just
that
got
time, we should have
another-
known about that, so we could have changed the
Yeah,
value
I didn't
a while
know
back.
that
Exactly,
was
not to
coming.
blame anyone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
No, that came
I
through.
think it's going to be
no
so
idea.
confusing, and then they're going to come to the meetings and they want us to tell them their rate and why they want out of it, and we can't give that to them.
Yeah. Okay, there's no support for
Okay.
moving further.
All right.
Okay, Kat, where are you coming?
Okay. What I've done is, I can read these out loud if you want, and then we can go over them. But I separate them for just the gutters.
But do the roof, maybe do one,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
Just do
We
one
can do
first.
the town hall fire roof first. There was 2 bids in for that. It was Olson, let me get their right names here, just kind of abbreviated things.
OLSEN.
Yes, it's OLSEN, but I wanted to read their full name to you. Construction LLC. And on the town hall roof, the whole fire department town hall, $26,071. And the other bidder was Physic, Fitzek. And their bid was $19,700. So it was a difference of about $7,000 there. On the alternate on that page, it's the soffit replacement. Olson was $700.
You mean the gutter?
No, this
No,
is the soffit.
the
If
soffit.
we had to-
It's
if we-
alternate number 1. And Fitzek, I don't know how to say his name, Fitzek was
Fitzek.
$1,490. So it's about a $700 difference there. The unit cost for the sheathing, if we have to replace it on this roof for 32 square foot, Olson was $25, and the other was $43.
Per piece?
32 square feet. You just need the amounts. $25, and the other company was $43.
Okay.
Now, if you want me to go to the next one, or do you want
I
to?
think,
Well,
Do
you're
this
gonna
one
give me all
first.
that when you're done anyway.
Yeah, it's.
yeah, what do you think? We'll go to the next one. So
Wanna go
we'll
to the
do
library
two
roof?
rows. Yep.
Okay, the library roof for Olson was $6,420. For Physic, the amount was $8,398. The alternate number 2, in case they need new 1.5 inch OSB sheathing, for Olson was $2,100 for the library roof. And Physic was $2,389. And gutters. Are you ready, Joe? I don't want to go too fast. I'll give you the first 2 companies we dealt with, but there's 4 that bid on the gutters. Olson was $1,610 on the gutters. Physic was $1,200.
This is for the library or the town hall?
No, we're
Library.
just doing gutters on the.
Library.
on the-
Library gutters. The Quality Seamless Company was $1,250. Now, Built on Demand, I don't know if Dennis want to interject, but I'm going to read it the way. $4,514. And if you had closed, was it closed heated, Dennis?
No, look at it again, Kathy.
I don't know where it is.
It's, here it is, gutters only.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
He did bid it.
Gutter only,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, let's go build on demand, cross out that 4514. $1,261. And he's doing an optional heated cable.
Right, but I'm going to say that all the other gutters were quoting 5-inch gutters. He's quoting a 6-inch gutter for essentially the same money.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
And if it's heated cable,
Right.
$4,514 is for the heated cable. Then if we wanted to go with a closed top gutter, but we didn't give the other people the chance to bid these this way either, should I just not do the closed top gutter or give you the prices? Should we not say the prices right now in case we have to ask the other people?
That's up to you. I mean, I've always talked about putting a
We
closed
talked
top
that.
gutter there.
We didn't have that in the, we didn't, it's my fault. We didn't put that in the bid. And when I was working on the bid, I didn't say that, so I probably disadvantaged
Well,
it.
I don't want to read that because at this point the others haven't given us a chance to tell us what it would be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do.
So we'll stick with those
Okay, that's fine.
prices right there.
What was Quality Seamless?
Quality Seamless was $1,250.
Okay,
those
so
are the amounts we have.
bottom line, Olson's better on the township hall and Physics better on the library. But I don't think we should give it to 2 different guys. Or do you? I don't know.
Well, it's hard to.
Because look at the pricing here.
What did you say? Who was better?
Well, Olson, overall, the 26, or not Olson,
No.
but the Physic is better than 19.7.
He's better on both.
He's the second one. He's 83. He's higher. Olson's 64.
Oh, you mean on the library roof? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the gutters.
Yeah, no.
It's two complete different jobs. I mean,
Yeah, I know, we bid them that way.
one guy could be working there and one guy could be working here. That's how it works.
Does anybody know either one of these two guys?
I don't know. I don't
No.
know them.
Well, I guess the other question is going to be the 1490 on physic. It was for option 1, which was,
Alternate?
that was the soffit replacement, if we have to do that. That even if he had to do that, he's half the price. He's $700 more, but that still doesn't make up for the delta between the total. And the square cost per foot, if he does the sheathing, is doubled, almost doubled. But that's still not going to make up. So I think he's cheaper on the town hall.
I do too.
What's everybody else think?
The only thing we need with him is he did not show workers' comp at this time.
Yeah.
We would have to make sure that he was able to get that.
Yep.
Otherwise, you would award it to the other person.
Yep. Everybody okay? We award it to physic
That
or
would be
the
the town
township
hall.
hall. Anybody have any reason we shouldn't? It's the lowest bid.
I'll make a motion that Physic be awarded the bid,
Okay, is there a second?
provided that he supplies Rachel or Kathy with a copy of the workman's comp. In the event that he cannot produce workman's comp, the bid would go to Olson.
Mm-hmm.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the library.
Can I talk about something real quick? These bids were written up by Kevin.
Yeah, no, not the bid was written up by Kevin.
The bid proposal.
The specs.
The specs.
And we've had, Dennis and I were around when the hall and the vault was added on here, and we paid an individual to make sure those specs were met.
Mm-hmm.
And he found in situations where subcontractors were used and they tried to cut corners and had them come back and to meet the specs. And I don't know
I'd love to have Kevin do that.
if he's interested in that, I would be in favor.
Well,
but I don't
also,
know that
what he put into this was that in Sheboygan County, you don't always require a roofing permit, but in order to know you're getting the quality of work done and the materials, he could probably do. But we put in there that they would have to get a roofing permit.
And in the situation Dennis and I were in, they had permits.
Right.
And
But he
tried
could
to
come,
cut
yeah, I'm
corners.
sure he could come back and make sure they're using the
And
materials that
actually,
they
the
quoted
county
us.
inspectors missed it, but our
He wouldn't miss it.
independent
He wouldn't miss it.
our independent inspector did not.
Okay,
And
and we can do that.
it was actually a critical, what John is remembering, they screwed up the foundation
That can happen.
on these buildings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't,
And so,
did you
Or
see
on
the
our
spec?
addition.
I just wanted you to make sure you had a copy of the spec.
right,
I
I did get this.
Okay.
Kathy emailed.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
ask him.
But the
but
thing
I-
is that, before we
Right.
move off the topic, I'm trying to make sure that
Yeah.
if he would be willing, and
To
if
make
the
sure they're
rest
using
of
the
the board
materials that we
members
need.
are on board with that idea, I'm in favor of somebody, because none of us know these people,
Mhm.
and there's different, just to make sure that they meet the specs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure he would do it. I will ask him. I can't answer for him, but I'm sure he would make sure that they are.
Are you okay with that?
Mhm.
Yeah. You okay,
I think
Rachel?
it's a good idea.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think
that's what the board wants, fine.
We'll just make sure they're using the materials we
Yeah.
said, like half-inch
Right.
sheathing and blah, blah,
Right,
blah. and-
right.
Okay, we have a motion then on the table to accept the Fitzik bid with all the stipulations that were put forth, and to include Kevin, to see if Kevin would be willing
Suspected
to
materials.
inspect